Dinky is a podcast where two pals just won't shut the F up about being child-free and the Dink lifestyle. I'm Erika, and I don't have kids because, let me tell you, we've been doing this YouTube Regretful Parents series. If I thought I didn't want kids before, I for sure don't want kids now.
Yeah, I mean,
eye-opening.
It's like porn for child-free people. She gave me a face.
Oh my God.
It kind of is, because it's like reaffirming every time you look at that stuff, you know? You're like, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Is that what you do with porn?
Yeah, it's all, just for me to go, hell yeah.
All right, you sick freak. Who are you?
I'm Kristen, and I don't have kids because I'm not going to stop eating fish while I'm pregnant, because I pretty much consist of salmon. I am a salmon of the sea at this point, and I couldn't imagine what I would eat if I didn't eat that.
Aren't salmon in rivers?
They're in the oceans, the rivers, the lakes. They're everywhere.
I don't think they're in the oceans, are they?
I mean, they call it Atlantic salmon, don't they? They call it like Pacific salmon. Isn't it in the Atlantic, that means, or in the Pacific?
Whoa, crazy. I didn't know this. Salmon primarily live in the ocean during the majority of their adult lives after migrating from their freshwater birthplaces.
Wow, there you go.
Wow.
Did you know that this was a wilderness podcast where you learn facts about
No, you did not.
the wilderness?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
this is a free podcast.
It's a free podcast. You're so lucky. And speaking of so lucky, today we're going to be talking about your favorite topic, death. Yes, that's right. We're going to be chatting through the importance of making a will, the stages of what happens when you're with your property after you die, and how to make a will today for free. But first, we have trips, and we need to dink ourselves.
We have trips. Take a trip with Dinky Pod.
Thank you.
Should we talk about trips, or are we over it?
We're over it, but I just want to plug it again for new listeners.
Okay.
Go to dinkypod.com. Find some trips.
Okay, great. Perfect. Well, let's dink ourselves. A dink is a dual income, no kid household. So naturally, we're making bad choices with our disposable income. In this weekly segment, we chat through the frivolous, Kristen is dancing, the frivolous and ridiculous purchases or hobbies that we couldn't afford if we had kids. What the fuck is happening?
Fly.
She's flailing her arms around.
Fruit fly. You know what? That's why I'm not having kids, because fruit flies exist. Get out of here, you fucking asshole. Why are they such assholes? Like, they just like don't go away. Go away.
Do you guys have a lot of fruit flies, or is there just one?
Just literally one right now that I never even saw him before. But I have the window open. I don't know if he flew through the window.
Oh.
That fruit fly? I don't know.
Are there no screens?
No, sorry, it's a door. I'm not sure why I called it a window. It's a full door to the backyard.
Yeah,
it's just
I don't
open right
now. Wow.
Now that I'm in Europe, somehow I have this like false sense of like security. Like, everyone is safe, you know, when you're outside of America. Like, there's just no death. There's no murder. Nothing could go wrong. So I just like leave the door open to this apartment in the city, just open all day. And I'm just like, if I die, I die, because nobody's going to kill me here. It's safe, right?
I don't want you to die, but if someone did come through and killed you right now, it would be worth it for the pod.
It would be good press for the pod.
The content would be monetized through the roof.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, now that I'm like talking myself into almost getting murdered, I'm going to go shut the door.
Okay, great. Good idea.
Now I can continue with this talk of death and dinking ourselves. I dinked myself recently by taking this sick-ass ferry from Wales to Dublin. And Erika, I'm pretty sure I talked to you about this already, but I'm going to say it again for the crowd. And sorry for my dog tippy-tapping. I know she's tippy-tapping and I know her nails need to be cut. Anyway, so the Wales to Dublin ferry is basically like you're going on a cruise ship for 3 hours. It's huge, dude. I think it can hold up to like 3,000 people is what my husband said. So I haven't fact-checked that, but it's huge. And we dinked ourselves because we took our car over, which doesn't really count. But when we took our car over, we also upgraded to a cabin. So we had a 2-bed, 1-bath cabin while we took the ferry over so we could take a nap. I mean, so nice. And Winnie did great. And I don't have the numbers in front of me. I want to say it was like 120 euros to get like your own cabin for 3.25 hours. But honestly, so fucking worth it, because when we went to like check out the cruise ship one at a time, we were like, holy crap, it is so packed. It's so crowded that like just to be able to like lie down, take a nap, because the ferry is like a whole ordeal. Like you got to get there early. You're like stressed because you don't know what you're doing. It took us time to like drive there and wait in line, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, highly recommend upgrading to a cabin when you're going over a ferry in Europe.
You did say that when you one at a time went out to go investigate. So did you also give your dog Winnie a chance to go investigate on her own?
Well, the reason why we did it one at a time was that so somebody was babysitting Winnie in the room while the other person left. So no, she stayed
So Winnie
inside.
did not get time on her own?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was a great
rude.
ferry situation. Highly recommend if you're going between countries. And
Wales and Dublin.
Wales, but like, you know, we drove from Wales to England. So like if you're going to England, you just drive.
The UK is so weird.
Yeah. Now I'm a UK freaking expert looking at this map. I'm like, okay, there's where Edinburgh is. Okay, there's where London is. Like now I know the map of the UK. I'm an expert.
She's a UK expert because she knows where the main things are in the UK.
That's correct.
Looking at a map.
That's correct. Ask me anything, AMA. How'd you dink yourself?
Oh, God. Well, the Dink Yourself that I wanted to share today, I cannot because my husband is in the other room and he doesn't know about it yet.
Damn it.
So I'll be sharing it on a future episode. In the meantime, what I will say is when I went to Vegas, I saw this awesome Las Vegas sweatshirt in the airport. Only $20.
Whoa.
And I was like, I'm not going to buy, I don't need another sweatshirt. I have so many sweatshirts. And then I was like, who the fuck am I?
I'm a
Fucking Dink Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had texted the other girls because they were all in different parts of the airport. And I was like, oh, this sweatshirt. And one of the other girls was like, oh, I got a sweatshirt. So I was like, I can't be the queen of Dink Yourself. Someone else fucking dinked themselves. And I didn't dink myself.
You didn't dink yourself. That's not fair.
So then I said, gotta buy it. And I went back and I bought it.
It looks great.
And I've been wearing this sweatshirt like every single day. I love
That's
this sweatshirt.
so good. And $20, that's the best when like you spend basically nothing on something that you end up loving.
I know. And I was like, you know what? People probably never wear sweatshirts in Las Vegas. That's probably why they never sell them, which is probably why it's $20.
Yeah, basically free.
So guys, if you need a good sweatshirt, go to Las Vegas. Let me tell you, they're basically giving them away.
Erika, I have a confession to make.
What? Uh-oh, she's taking a chug of her wine.
So part of the reason I was late was because, when I was walking the 30 minutes home, I walked by a sweater store that I remembered from 5 years ago that I wanted a sweater from that I never bought, and I've regretted it ever since. And I found it on the way home. So
The store?
Or the
sweater?
So I went, but it's a sweater store. And they have like the Irish wool sweaters, you know? And
Did you get one?
And, well, here's the thing. So I literally have regretted it since not buying one like 5 years ago. And I was like, holy shit, here I am. I'm at the store. I gotta go in. So I did go in and I tried on like 3 real quick. But I found one that I liked. 99 euros, which is a lot of money, but it's a fully wool sweater. And it's something I've been thinking about for years.
99 for a wool sweater. That's going to last the rest of your life.
Yeah, if I don't shrink it. But knowing
That's a
me,
good price.
I'm going to shrink it in like 20 minutes. But anyway, I'm so bad at shrinkage.
Don't put it in the... Oh, no.
It's only because I forget. It's like I have like a bunch of clothes and I just like chuck it in and I try to like piecemeal like what is like not supposed to, but I ruin it. I this happens to me all the time. I ruin them all the time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I actually have a dink myself from like 3 years ago where I dinked myself with a sweater that was wool and then I re-dinked myself like a year later because I bought it because I shrunk it. Anyway,
I remember this, yeah.
So this was like that, but I've been thinking about it. So I went into the sweater store. I put on the sweater. I was in the cash, ready to go, but I was looking at the clock and I was like, "Oh my god, we're running!" I'm like, "I'm already late. I already told you I'm late." And now I'm buying a sweater, which was going to be my Dink Myself today. And then who's in front of me in line?
Who?
Fucking parents with their children from the United States of America. And I was waiting and they're like grabbing things like, "I want the sheep, I want the sheep," you know, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I just got to buy this one sweater." And then I heard them like talking to the woman, and the woman was like, "Okay, so where are we shipping this?" And she's like, "To the USA." And I was like, "Now we're shipping the sweater?" And then that's when I departed.
Yeah. Oh
that's
my
when I threw the sweater and I ran, and I did go the wrong way. And then I texted you that I also went the wrong way because I was trying not to use my data anyway.
Oh.
Trying to be...
Wow. So no sweater.
No sweater.
Oh my. But you're going to go back.
I'm definitely
right?
going back. Yep.
Okay. Thank God. Thank God.
But...
Well, I can't wait to see this future Dink Yourself sweater.
I wish I was wearing it right now, but children didn't let me.
It's too hot, I'm sure, to be wearing wool.
It's like 70. Yeah, it's like 68.
You can't wear wool in 70 degrees. Oh, no.
You know me, though. I don't know.
Wool?
Maybe. Maybe I'm being too optimistic here.
Oof, I feel itchy thinking about it. All right. Well, let's get into the fucking... Let's take a break. Actually.
Podcast after we take this break.
Well, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
And then we'll get... Okay. She's drunk already. All right. Kristen, teach me about wills.
Oh my God. So thank you so much for asking me to teach you about wills, because like this is like one of my favorite topics right now. Let's start this conversation with, I already know the answer and I'm pretty sure we've already said the answer on the podcast, but let's ask it anyway. Erika, do you have a will?
I have, damn it, I really wanted to make a stupid joke, but I can't think of how to word it. I really
You
wanted
should
to
just say, I have no will to live.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Oh.
Yeah, I have no will to live. There we go.
Great.
That was better. Wait, you're going to give the little preface at the top, right? Because as a potential future lawyer, this is very important to me.
I am. But I was going to ask you, do you have a will? What do you think would happen to your stuff if you die without a will?
Well, if I were to die, I don't have a will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to disclose. Part of what has prevented me from starting a will is because I know my parents have a trust, and I've tried to get them to explain to me why they have a trust instead of a will, but they're not very good at explaining things. And so I've just been dragging my feet. I do know if I were to die, then my husband or whoever, it would have to go through the rigmarole of figuring out how to gain access to my shit, which I know is a big fat nightmare. But the other part of me feels like when I'm dead, I'm dead. And it will no longer be my stuff, and I will... Yes. I will make a will eventually, but
okay,
not yet.
Well, may this episode serve as a reason for why you should make a will.
I know that I need one. You don't need to convince me of that.
Okay. Well, future lawyer, let me just preface this episode with, I am not a lawyer, and this episode does not contain legal advice. My summaries and recommendations are solely based on my own internet research, and the laws do depend on where you live. So for proper legal advice, please consult a real lawyer and do not sue me. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, first, just to like address what you were just talking about with your family, I almost looked into trusts because there are some advantages to trusts and putting your money in trusts, especially if you have a decent amount that you're going to inherit or pass down. But there's some nuance to it, and that's not the purpose of this episode. So I'll just say that. This doesn't cover anything about trust today. But per trustandwill.com, intestate or intestacy, which I hate that word. It sounds weird. Intestacy.
Sounds like testy.
It sounds like a lot of bad words.
Or testicles.
Like, it sounds
yeah,
really gross. This is what happens to an estate in the case of if an individual dies before creating a will. So intestacy varies from state to state, which underscores the importance of having a proper estate plan in place. Every state has their own established intestate process that determines whether a person's, I know it's so hard to say, I'm sorry, whether a person's assets will be given to their spouse, children, parents, or siblings. When someone dies without a will, their assets get frozen until the court system combs through every detail of their estate. The court then applies its state intestacy laws. Can we just say another fucking word?
Oh my God.
What kind of fucking word can I say?
Make up a word.
I think this is kind of like the end of, we're coming close to the end of this using this word. So I'll just muddle through it. The court then applies its state intestacy laws to make
I gotta say it one more time.
I think there's a couple more, to make a decision regarding where a person's possessions will be allocated. This process can be time-consuming, exhausting for the surviving family members, but it is easily avoidable, Erika. You just got to get a motherfucking will.
I know. You're saying this like I'm like learning this. I know.
You know about intestacies?
Yeah.
I don't know shit about intestacies. I didn't even know that word existed.
I didn't know the word intestacy, but I do know about this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do know about this.
Well, now everybody knows what their
congratulations.
Everyone knows what their incest and testes looks like here.
Oh God. Ew.
Yeah, exactly. Your state's intestate
incest
succession laws will determine where your money goes.
Wait, let's pause for a second, because I do think we need to summarize what you were just saying, because a lot of this is a lot of big words, allocated, time-consuming, exhausting. Give a summary of what you just said.
Basically, if you don't have a will, your shit is going to get tied up in the legal system. It's going to be a pain in the fucking ass for anybody who, in theory, would inherit your estate, and you're just making their lives more difficult. And it does, like I said, it does matter state by state, and that's a big important thing, because I can't generalize and tell you exactly what the rules are, but every state will have their own like ideas of where your money should go if you don't have this already set up. So your state's intestate succession laws will determine where your money goes if you pass away before creating a will. And this requires going into probate court, where the court will appoint someone as a personal representative to oversee the distribution of your belongings. So I'm sure we've all heard this word. I heard this word 100 times. I really have never understood what the fuck probate means, but I've heard things going into probate before. But basically, it goes into this another legal area, gray area, where if you don't have somebody...
It's like escrow, basically.
Escrow
right?
confuses the fuck out of me too. I mean, it's just like this middleman area where your stuff goes, and somebody in the court system, because you don't have an executor of your will to like manage everything, they're putting somebody at the state will manage this for you, which obviously is, they have no fucking vested interest in this. They're just trying, the time is not on your inheritor's side. They don't give a shit about you. You're just a number in a queue. And once the personal representative pays off your debts, your remaining assets will be allocated to your heirs, which again varies by state. So, who gets your property if you do not have a will? Most often, the spouse has first priority to get your assets, then your children, then your grandchildren, parents, and siblings. Most of those don't apply to us as child-free and childless people, right? We don't have children. We don't have grandchildren. So statistically, the likelihood of your parents surviving you or grandparents surviving you is not going to happen. So really, it's like if you're married, it goes to your spouse. And then if your spouse is dead, it could go to your siblings. That's pretty much it. Again, varies by state. So this is interesting. I'll use New York as an example because, again, it varies. If the closest surviving relative to you is a second cousin, which I'm friends with my second cousins, I like them. So that's not that far off. If your closest surviving relative is a second cousin, or even more remote than that, the estate passes to the state of New York if you do not have a closer surviving relative than your second cousins. I don't want my fucking money going to the state. I don't care if I'm dead. I don't want my money going to the state. I don't want my last moments in my little, hospital bed or wherever the fuck I am to be like, I can't wait until the governor uses my money for building roads. Like, no, that's not what I'm okay with. And who gets to be in charge? So usually it's the same priority order that applies if you have a surviving spouse. They're first in line to be the representative for your estate. Then it's children, then it's grandchildren, and so on. People in the same level of priority or equal priority may be named co-administrators. So if you have siblings, it may be co-administrators, or the court may decide to appoint one to administer the estate. So the court could just say, I want Bob to be the sole person managing your estate. So here's something fun. Probate costs in the US typically range from 3 to 7% of the estate's total value. So this range includes attorney fees, court costs, and other administrative expenses. So if you have a $500,000 valued estate and you go into probate, which is typical, then you are spending between $15,000 and $35,000 just to fucking let the courts do their bullshit. So, just to give an official definition to probate, because we've talked about it, the official definition that I found, I think this was according to Investopedia, is a court-supervised procedure that determines the organization of a deceased person's assets, taxes, and debts owed, and the distribution of the remaining assets to beneficiaries. When a person passes, regardless of whether they have a will, their estate and their assets in the will go through the probate process. So everybody goes through probate. You with me so far?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let me describe what happens in probate, like all the line items. I know I just kind of summarized some things, but probate can be initiated with or without a will, like I mentioned. Individuals can avoid exorbitant probate costs and complexities by having an easily authenticated will or using investment vehicles that do not require probate. So I'm wondering if a trust gets around probate. I'm curious about that.
I think so.
I think it might too. But
I think there's actually, maybe we should do a separate episode one day with maybe a lawyer or something about trust, because I do think there are a lot of benefits to trusts, which is why a lot of rich people have trusts instead of wills. But
yeah, like I said, there are some drawbacks because my parents looked into it as well because they had heard the same thing. And so they tried to get a trust for them, but like it's basically like they have to redo it every 5 years. Like there's like some kind of shit to it. But I agree. We should get like an expert on here to like talk to us about some of this stuff. So probate typically focuses on the existence and authenticity and validity of a will, which is fascinating, right? Because if you have a will and it's an original place and you have told your executor or your friends or whoever where the original is so that when you die, they know where to go.
Mm-mm.
And you've had people who were witnesses for your will, because it has to be notarized and you have to have witnesses who are ideally younger than you and easily validated. Like the court can go to their house and be like, hey, were you here on July 8th, 1999? And you did witness this, and they can verify it, then you're going to save so much fucking money for your estate. But so many people, I read a stat that on freewill.com that 70% of people in the US do not have a will. So most people don't even have a will. And then on top of that, people who do have a will, a lot of them don't know where it is, or their witnesses.
Is that 70% of like the general population, or is that like 70% of people within a certain age group?
I had the
like
exact
the
same question and they did not answer it. It's literally 70% of you. Because I'm like, are you children? Are you above 18? Are you? Yeah, I have no idea. But just to give some kind of rough figure or to give you an idea, like it seems like a majority of people don't have a will. Take that with what you will. So if you're making a will, put it somewhere safe. Let people know where it is. That's important. And especially as you get older, right? Like people move, things get lost, you start losing your fucking memory. Like, we're 38, we don't know where anything is, we're already lost. So I think it's really important to like have copies of your will and make sure people know where the original is. Okay. So miscellaneous fun fact that I learned when I was making my will is that your 401k is not included in your assets and your estate. Because like you have like property and then you have like assets. So if you own like a house or a car, that's kind of treated separately in your will than like savings accounts. But your retirement account is just completely handled separately. So that's why if you do have a 401k, and I know that's like a very privileged thing to say, but if you do have a retirement account and you log into your bank, you'll get these pop-ups like regularly that are like, hey, what's your beneficiary? Name your beneficiary. Make sure you've done this. And it has annoyed the shit out of me in the past, but now I understand. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is like the place where you have to name a beneficiary. I should double check. Shit, I just moved banks. It needs to be assigned there in the bank.
Yeah. I think life insurance policies are the same too. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So when should you update your will? So according to NewYorkTrust.org, major life events call for updating one's will, including marriage, divorce, birth or adoption of a child, death of a person named in a prior will, retirement, and a change in financial circumstances, such as like an increase or inheritance of a business, or some kind of bankruptcy or some kind of significant change in your financial circumstances. That's great, Kristen. Where do I get a will?
Oh my God, what the fuck is going on? Should I leave?
Yeah, you're not even part of this podcast anymore. Just
okay.
Cool.
Bye,
Kristen. That's how do I get a will and how much does it cost? Well, for the best route, you should work with your lawyer or work with a lawyer in a state where you live, because like I said, a lot of these laws are state dependent. Who is familiar with your laws? I did a package deal for my will, so it included healthcare, power of attorney, durable power of attorney, and the actual will with a lawyer in Seattle. And just like cover what those other things are real quick, right? Like this is the kind of thing that when you're in the hospital and you have surgery and like there's all these different scenarios that could happen to you, like you want to ensure that you have some say over like, do you want to be on a ventilator? Do you want to like have somebody pull the plug?
Yeah.
Like, how do you want to handle your medical body when you are not physically able to? So that makes me want to throw up doing that personally. I hated every second of it. I like doing the will because it's kind of fun to like be like, ooh, who gets my money? But like when you're thinking about like, okay, like if you're brain dead, what happens? Like, what do I want to happen? So that's like very uncomfortable, but
so fucking important. I mean, that's the thing that I have been pestering every old person I know to like write down, because that's the shit that like is beyond just like accessing your money. That's the like painful shit, like that's the stuff that like hurts your friends and family when you're getting old, for them to have to like, and it causes, I can't talk about this, but like it causes so much family strife that could be avoided. If you just write down what your wishes are, then like it keeps your siblings and stuff like that from squandering time and energy and resources. It is painful, but just fucking do it because it saves everybody else the hassle.
Yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, durable power of attorney. I was trying to like differentiate them, but like durable power of attorney is like basically if I become incapacitated in any sense, who has like the right to like manage everything for me. And so like in my case, it's my spouse. Healthcare power of attorney, I did like put some rules around like Jeremy, but he must consult my parents if my parents are alive. And like if my parents are not alive, then like he obviously consults Erika. Because like love my husband, but his decision making isn't always what I would do. So
what you would want.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got a package deal for all those things, and the retainer was $3,000. So it's not.
Oh wait, I just want to make one thing clear.
What?
For every situation,
You're gonna pull the
with
plug.
your health, it's pull the plug.
I know. I know.
They're going to be like, there's not even a plug. And I'm going to be like, put a plug in there.
They're like, no, she's healthy.
Take it out.
She came out of surgery great. And you're like, that's nice.
And
Mother
I'm gonna,
her.
like, install the plug.
Right.
Pull it.
Right. Yeah. I figured you'd say that.
Kristen's like, I got to reassess my will.
No, but I did put some weird ass clause in there. Like, I put so many things in there that were like weird. And I was like, and I wrote to my lawyer, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm weird, but like, can you please include this? And I put like, if I'm ever in a coma, like people have to talk to me like I'm present in the room, because I've read too many stories where people are like in a coma and they hear everything around them and people are talking as if they can't hear. And they're just like in a coma, like, fuck you, you assholes. I can hear what you're saying. So everyone must talk to me like I can understand everything if I'm ever in a coma, and that's in my fucking legal documents.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I will say, I know you're about to get into freewill.com, but just to reiterate, part of the reason why it's good to work with a lawyer is because lawyers who do this, that's all they do, is they work with people on creating an estate plan. And so they have worked with crazy people like Kristen, who have all of these funky, weird expectations, and they can help suggest things to you that you might not have even considered.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, for the record, it was a $3,000 retainer. So I'm not sure. I think if like we do more or less revisions, I might even get money back. I'm not sure. I literally just approved it yesterday, like approved the final versions yesterday. So I'm still like waiting to like hear on like notarizations, like what happens.
Why did you work with a lawyer in Seattle?
So my Seattle lawyer is the one who I got married in Seattle. So they did my prenup and I really liked working with them. So my lawyer did my prenup in Seattle and I really liked her. And then she like basically said she wasn't taking on like any traditional cases anymore. And so she was kind of like, I don't know, taking special cases. And then when I replied all and I was like, hey, I want to update my prenup and I want to take on like the will stuff. She was like, she like raised her hand basically and said she would take me back on as a client. So I was like, oh, cool. I liked working with her and she's child free. And so I told her about Dinky and she was like, hell yeah. I love being child free. So we talked a lot about that. So yeah, so she put in some clauses that cover Washington and Oregon because I did say like, I love both and, you know, we might end up in Washington. So I kind of just want to be covered either way. I don't recommend doing legal documents in a state where you don't live, but I'm kind of like wondering if we'll ever move back there.
Wow. Rude.
It's like 20 minutes from where Erika lives in Washington. Like I could move 20 minutes away if I wanted. Okay.
I won't talk to you anymore if you move to that part of Washington.
Okay.
Ew.
I mean, that part is kind of ew, but yeah.
Sorry to anyone who lives there. I think we have listeners who live there.
Some parts of it are ew, and I'm sure they would agree. Yes.
Sorry, there's so many things I want to say that don't need to be on the podcast, but a few questions. So, and you might not know this because, again, we are not lawyers. So during this little stint of time when you're in Europe, if you die while you're in Europe, what happens?
We kind of talked briefly about that. Basically...
Wait, can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Because it might go together. So, A, what happens when you're in Europe? B, do you need to update your will, in theory, every time you move to a different state? Like if you're moving between state lines, does that need to be updated?
No, I don't think so.
But how's that work when different states have different laws?
I don't know. We got to ask a lawyer.
Okay.
But basically, like,
I wasn't sure if
weren't super worried about it. They were like, you know, like, it's best practice to do X, Y, and Z, but like, and maybe Washington and Oregon are similar enough that they're like, like the laws are kind of, you know, transferable. But I bet you like Kentucky is very different than
that's kind of what I mean.
California.
Not necessarily between Washington and Oregon, because like even like realtors a lot of times can work between two states. Like lawyers can work between two states. I am curious about like if you move to Kentucky.
Yeah.
God forbid. Do the laws change so significantly that you need to have them updated? But
yeah,
anyway, go back to Europe.
I think any lawyer, and I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of lawyers that I am not, I would imagine they would all recommend that wherever you believe you're going to be living permanently your will should be updated to reflect that. So we make some assumptions with this that like maybe we'd be moving back to Seattle because we've talked about like maybe getting an apartment in Seattle and keeping, you know, a presence there. I don't know. But yeah.
I love the law. Don't you love the law?
No.
Okay.
What is there to love? I know it's annoying. Like, why is it changed state by state? It's so dumb. And also, like,
well, it's stupid that it changes state by state. I'm like, have a lot of issues with this whole states' rights bullshit, but I do love the law. I think it's great that we have these systems in place to handle this shit. But go on. I think the law is fun.
yeah. I have so many thoughts. But okay, moving on. I'll just say that I was glad I did it with my lawyer, especially for like the first time. It was like good to see, you know, what kind of advice she offered. It was very customizable to like exactly what I wanted. Like I said, niche use cases. But I'm glad I did it this way, but that's very expensive. And also my husband didn't have a will. My freaking parents didn't have a will. So when I went home to my parents' house in New Jersey, I was like, you bitches I'm writing your will. And I did it for my husband too. I'm like, I'm doing your wills and we're going to get it notarized together and like done together. And we did that through.
I think if you're above 50, no excuse.
I know, dude.
Shame on them.
Trust me. I'm
Shame on
shaming them. I know. Pisses me off. They're like, well, it all goes to you anyway. You're going to make my life difficult? For what reason?
Mm-hmm. Right. For why?
Anyway, and then they were like, we have a will. And I was like, where is it? My dad was like, we don't have a will. He's like, we started one. We never finished it. It never got like finalized. And then my mom was like, it's in the security deposit box. So we went to this safety deposit box at the bank. Security deposit. What's it called? Security deposit? Safety deposit. Safety deposit box. It wasn't there.
That's fucked up that they tried to lie and say they had a will. That's fucked.
No.
Because then what if they
started
die?
one. They started one. My mom's memory was they finished it. My dad's was like, no, we never finished it. Mm-hmm. But again, this was like 20 years ago for them. So they're like, so much has fucking changed. Okay. So I set my parents and my husband up with freewill.com, which was a site that I heard about through my old neighbors, Kristen and Kevin. I think they're the ones who told us. So shout out to them, the Childfree. On freewill.com, you can create a will for free. It's very standardized. It's like if you've ever used like LegalZoom, it's like one of those, like you fill in the blanks. It's pretty detailed. Like you can leave like specific assets or gifts to people. You can have like leave to this person. If that person dies, leave to the next person. If that person dies, leave to the next person. Like it's pretty customizable to an extent. And all you need to do.
So close to Free Willy. A real shame.
That didn't cross my mind once. So thank you for pointing that out.
It's been bothering me every time you say it.
Wow. Okay.
I just imagine the orca soaring gracefully over that wall.
Yeah, the rock wall. I do want to go on a tangent right now about how I bought boys' shoes from Payless that were Free Willy sneakers that I really wanted, and I loved them. And I was a pioneer, you know. I was just a pioneer of like wearing men's clothing. Whenever Free Willy came out, what year was that?
Oh, this was during the era of Free Willy. I thought this was maybe like a nostalgic thing that you just did.
No, it came out in 1993. So I'm going to Google Free Willy sneakers Payless.
I'm glad I took us down this route. This is worth people's time. Did you find them?
No.
Damn. We can do this later.
No, we can't. We got to do it right now.
Yes, we can. No.
Okay. It had like a picture of like Free Willy. It had like a whole scene of like
Please
Free
don't
Willy.
make me regret my funny joke.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to not do my ADHD thing right now. Okay. Back to freewill.com. So what you do is you fill this out. Like I said, it's like LegalZoom. You can do it in like a fucking hour. Just like write in information. The reason why Free Will is free is because it is like basically powered by nonprofits and charities. So it makes it super easy for you to like auto-populate charities into your will. So you fill it out, you print it out, you don't sign anything until you're in front of a notary with 2 witnesses. And like I mentioned earlier, the witnesses ideally should be younger than you, because if you do die, like, and the court wants to like verify that you have a legit will, they're going to want to find those people. So, you know, you can't be like, oh, I'll just find people at the bank, or like the people at the bank will do it. You know, they'll be my witnesses. No, you want to like people in your life who are not in your will, because they also can be conflict of interest. Like you can't, Erika's like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, you can't have anybody.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So just like a friend.
So you have to burden someone's time that doesn't even get any of the benefits?
Correct.
That fucking sucks. So your power of attorney can't be your witness?
No. Because think about it. That would be you could manipulate it. You're like, I'm the power of attorney, and yes, I was here. Like you could totally manipulate the system if like you were a skis ball.
I mean, people do it all the time. Okay. Anyway, move on.
Anyway, I mean, maybe it's state dependent, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of the rule.
That seems like it sucks.
Yeah, and well, it's not that bad, but like for instance, my parents were my husband's witness because my parents aren't inheriting anything in the will, so that was fine.
But they're gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, in the perfect world, I would have had younger people, but like, I just wanted to get anything.
Okay.
Anything was better than nothing, you know? And also, my parents got their friends and they took them out to lunch as like a thank you. That was it.
Okay.
So, highly recommend freewill.com. Make sure you have the original someplace safe. Make sure people know where it is, like your executor, but ideally your executor and like at least a couple other people kind of know. Okay, that's cool. Erika, what do you think? What did I do with my will? What do you think my will looks like?
Physically? Or what do you mean? What's in your will?
Yeah, like what's in my will?
Oh, I was like, it probably looks like a binder.
I mean, accurate, yes.
I was like, do you think it's a scroll? Okay. You mean what's in your will? Okay. Wait, so did you not go through the like, did you do like specifics of like, if I die choking on a hot dog?
No.
Okay, so you didn't go into specifics. Okay.
No, I mean, okay, so for the record, my will is just like, who am I giving my money to and what percentage of my money is going to who? It's also worth noting, my will also contains, and I think like wills in general, your wishes for what happens to your body when you die. Like, do you want to be cremated? Do you want a funeral service? Like, what do you want at that funeral service? Like,
so did you include that?
Yeah.
I think you want to be cremated? Oh,
we've talked about
interesting.
this.
Okay,
You forgot.
I'm surprised by that. Do you want to do natural like me?
Mm-hmm. We're composting, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I love that. Yay. Have you already bought your thing?
No. But I basically said, like, use my state money to, like, if it's easily done. Like, Washington and Oregon both have laws that, like, support composting. So, like, if it's easily done, so do that. But, like, if I die here, for instance, like, they probably, you don't want to ship my fucking body.
Yeah. Back.
All the way back. Yeah, so just cremate me in that case. Yeah.
I know that you, in your will, you have a bunch of money to animal stuff. I know that I'm going to inherit Winnie or any other animals that you own. I do think we need to establish some kind of limitation, because if you go buy like a ranch and own like a million animals, I was not consulted.
That's fair. Well, it's a living, breathing document, you know? It's like we'll update it as major life events change, but for now, assume I have one. It's a living, breathing document. Pets.
Unlike your body when you're going to be gone.
Correct. Unlike me. Unlike my physical body.
Yeah. As of right now, I consent to taking in animals, but that could change.
And then if Jeremy dies, if my husband dies, you're also the executor of the will, I think.
If he dies.
Yeah. But let's be honest, he's going to outlive
obviously.
Literally all of us. Like he's
everybody.
He's going to be 120. I know him.
Yeah, I know.
Your husband too. They're both going to be hanging out in like the nursing homes together.
I want him to outlive me, but I also strategically married someone a little older than me so that he won't live too long.
Right.
I don't want him to live too long without me.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was worried about, and I talked to my husband about this. I was like, I don't want some bitch you remarry because you have bad taste. You know, he has bad taste sometimes, you know? I'm like, I don't want some bitch you remarry to inherit all my money. Like, that's what I'm so scared about, you know? And he's like, I would never remarry, you know, you're my, and I'm like, no, like.
You say that now.
No, he's
Men
full
are
shit.
So weak.
He's full shit. And I love him and I want him to be happy, but I don't trust his choice in
women.
women.
Not that happy.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
I agree.
how do I ensure that if you marry like a nice, deserving girl, she can have my money? But like, I don't know. You might just like pick a rando off the street for all I know because you're lonely. I don't know. So anyway.
So did you carve those kinds of things into your will?
I thought about it.
Like if you die.
I talked about it with my husband. I didn't. I just have to like trust that he's going to be responsible.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
I'm like,
well, what's in your will? Let's talk about that.
So if I die, my husband, who will be still alive, he will inherit 75% of everything, and 20% will go to charity. And that's very important to me. I just want to make sure. I want to like die knowing like a good chunk of my money is going to animal charities. So it's like distributed across like small and large charities. And 5% is like family. So that's it right now. And then if my husband dies, then yeah, most of it goes to charity, like 95% or some shit. But
wow, really rude.
I
feel like I should be in the mix.
Well, you get $50,000 if you get Winnie.
If I get Winnie,
and if you're the executor,
what if you die and Jeremy dies and I'm still alive?
I actually
shouldn't the money come to me?
I actually had a thing for you at one point, and I was like, this is too much work. I was like, this is too much. It's too complicated.
You want me to be the executor of your will at some point, but you're not even going to leave some money to me?
You get $10,000 for being the executor. And $50,000 for inheriting pets. So you'll get $60,000. That's a good money.
By the time you're dead, that's going to be nothing.
Okay.
That's going to be.
It might be more than you
nothing.
have. I don't know. Could be.
That's why I'm saying I'm going to be giving all this money to animal charities. I'm going to be living in fucking poverty because I don't have a podcast anymore.
Yeah, because we're making so much money on the podcast as it is. Yeah. And like I said, like, okay, I'm going to get like composted. Oh, but there's also like family artifacts and shit. Like who gets the first right of refusal for like paintings that I inherited from my great grandparents. Like, so I kind of have that kind of stuff set out, and some things go to museums and like all sorts of shit like that. Anyway, that's what is in my will. Has this given you any food for thought about what you would do with your stuff? What you gonna leave me? What, you gonna leave me $100,000?
Not now. Not now. My last wish is actually, if I die before you, that some kind of harm befalls you.
You know what? I think we even
I'm
have
gonna leave my debt to you.
I think we have it on record where you were like, just so you know, you're not inheriting anything of mine. I think I could literally cut and paste this audio back to back. So
obviously a joke.
But yeah, you
have
would
more
get
money
a
than
solid
me,
60K.
and I'm a woman of color, so it's not like the world is going to do anything for me. I'm not going to leave my money to a white woman.
Listen, you gotta have motherfucking trust, okay? You're fine.
I know. I hope to one day have a trust, and maybe eating your fucking French, or not French, your European buttered bread on camera like a cunt. Stay away from the microphone. Kristen's been chewing into the mic, setting my sensory problems off the wire. What are we talking about? Oh, has this given me any inspiration about what I want in mind? I mean, part of the problem with me is, as much as I know I need to do this, there is a part of me that's like, I don't fucking care. I'll be dead.
Yeah, what is that?
You guys figure it out. I'll be dead.
You like love legal shit too. Shouldn't you be like all about this?
I know, but it's great for everyone else. I'll be dead.
But like, what if it could go to like animals and stuff? Isn't that good? Humans that need it. You like,
yeah, but I also kind of feel like I do like humans, and I also feel like the state is almost bankrupt, bro. If I can help build some roads, there are worse things. At least I'm not paying for war. That, like, if it was going to the federal government, I would have some real problems with that.
I agree.
But the state, I can give the state a buck.
Yeah, and for the record, if you have a lot of money, it definitely, first of all, it all gets taxed. All inheritance shit gets taxed like hell.
The other really rich thing about this is, like, pretending like I have any fucking assets. I have so much more debt than assets. The stuff I should worry about is like stuff I've gotten from my family, like you said, family.
Yeah, like artifacts. Stuff.
What's the word I'm looking for? Artifacts. There we go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
all
like,
I
what
have
about
to say.
Eve? Are you worried about Eve? Like, what happens if you and Seth die? Where does Eve go? What if she goes to the ASPCA and gets adopted?
I guess. But I also am like, who do I want to give Eve to?
Me.
That's hard.
I'll take Eve.
I don't know. Does she really like you?
That's fair. No, that's touche. I don't know how to do cats, but I would.
She does like Jeremy, but I don't think Jeremy's that interested in her. Maybe we'd give her to our neighbor.
Okay, maybe you put your neighbor down, but if your neighbor doesn't want her, like I would take her and she would love me because
I know you would take her.
I would give her so many snacks all day, every day.
I know. She would learn to love you, but
I just don't know how to cat.
You can learn. All right, I guess you can have Eve. The thing is, Winnie loves me, so I know if I took Winnie would have a good life. I don't know if Winnie's gonna love you. I mean, Eve's gonna love you.
That's fair. Totally fair. But I'm just saying.
I want to think of who's gonna love Eve.
Right. I mean, I would love Eve. Eve might not love me.
I know. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
There are some people that she's met that she really likes, so I would probably give her to somebody that she has a bond with.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But we got to figure out who that person is. And then it's like, if you're in Europe and I die, I'm not going to have Eve shipped to Europe. That's crazy.
That's fair.
She would kill herself.
That's fair. I mean, you could put that in the will. If this person lives in plane distance, don't give it to them.
I'm not going to kill myself just thinking about this.
You're going to kill yourself without a will because you don't want to make a will.
Yeah. Because I don't want to make a will.
Okay. Right.
Wait, is there more that you want to say about this
Well,
shit?
I'm just going to mention that, like, under federal law, your estate is taxed 40% if it's worth, I know this is a big problem for everybody here, if it's worth over $11.58 million.
See, that's the big problem for me, is I just have so much money.
Hundreds of millions. Yeah, you're going to get taxed. Yeah. So anything under that amount is generally exempt from federal taxes. State taxes are an entirely different story, especially if you pass away before writing a will. So the more money you have to, I mean, it depends on the state, but your estate is taxed up to 16% of its worth if it's over 1.6 million, which, I mean, for boomers anyway, that's not crazy because it's like, okay, if you've owned your home for that long, my parents don't have that much for the record, but like some people, like if they own a nice home and they've had it forever, like a lot of people's homes are just like $1 million, right? So in some states, your estate is taxed up to 16% if it's worth 1.6 million, and other states use their exclusively designed formula to divide your estate taxes among your spouse and your children. And like, for instance, I looked up where's the highest inheritance tax, and it's in Kentucky and New Jersey. But it's like tiered. So it's like you can pay up to 16% in taxes for inheritance tax if you have over X million dollars. So every state is just so different, but it's somewhere between 0 and 16% automatically gets taxed.
Fucking taxes, but it is an essential part of
but then I fucking
society.
I mean, again, we're talking about state versus federal. Like, I'm thinking about like fucking Donald bitch ass Trump fucking paving over the Rose Garden with like taxpayer money. Like, you get fucked, dude.
Get fucked. I know.
Like,
I know. Building.
I want to go into his house and steal things. Like, that's my fucking gold that I deserve because I've paid into the system. You don't get that gold, you fucking asshole. You're a traitor to this country.
I know.
Fuck you.
I know. I have a lot of conspiracy theories right now about what he's doing because he was on the roof one day. Did you see that?
How could I miss it?
He was on the roof one day and there was speculation that he was going to do something to the White House, and I was getting so pissed. And he was saying something about like, don't worry, anything I do is going to be financed through me. And I was like, this bitch is doing fucking fraud in front of our faces. You know that he is going to say, oh, I'm using this project as a philanthropy thing, and he's going to use that to take money from fucking Turkey or something and say that he did it himself. I don't know. There's something going on there. I just know it.
He's a motherfucking liar.
All alleged.
We all know he's a liar.
But he's a liar.
So when he says, oh, don't worry, it's all funded by me, that's fucking bullshit. I don't need anybody to... Nothing Donald Trump does is like in good faith of in the service of good. So there's no way this man is using his own money. And for the record, even if he was using his own money, it's off of the backs of the economy that he is purposely tanked and also inflated on a whim because he's fucking gaming the system. He's like, oh, well, if I make it, I'm just gonna, he just manipulates the stock market to what he fucking wants. Like, it's bullshit. Anyway, okay, so
is that the end of the episode?
If you're gonna die giving your money to people who you want to have it, not to people paving over a rose garden.
True
that.
Well, guys, thanks for listening. Dinky is a podcast on the Spreaker Prime Network. If you love Dinky, join our Patreon, you guys. One of our Mexico travelers, because I was telling the travelers, because they have their own Discord, to get into the Discord. And she was like, oh, this is the calmest I've ever heard you talking about Discord. So now I feel like I need to be more calm talking about the Discord, even though that was a different Discord.
What do you mean calm? Like, was she like, you were like so aggressive about pushing people to the Discord?
I think she was saying that I scream at people to join the fucking
Discord. You try to bully people into it, But it has worked,
if you can put some,
but
it's worked.
It worked for some people.
Let's try a new strategy,
exactly. And now
let's try a new strategy.
Targeting other people who are more demure.
Mince, can you put some like calming music here?
Yeah.
We're working to build a community of child-free people living their best lives. Your membership to the Dinky Patreon grants you access to ad-free episodes. Don't want to support corporations? Me neither. Sign up for ad-free episodes, only $5. If you give a little bit more money, you can gain access to our Discord chat. If you give more money than that, you get our virtual book club and so much more.
Did you know you get also access to bi-weekly special bonus exclusives? If I talk like this, I think it's more relaxing. It's like Shakespeare.
You went through like 3 different accents.
Listen,
in
I'm
the
not
span
very
of
good
5
at
words.
accents. So who?
Nope, there
is
they
it
are
Australian?
again. Okay. Whoop.
Is it British?
Oh. Is it
Find
Professor
out.
McGonagall?
Find out on the Patreon.
Many thanks to Chloe Steinhoff. I guess I don't need to do that voice anymore. Many thanks to Chloe Steinhoff
Many fucking
Smith.
thanks to that bitch, Chloe Steinhoff Smith.
Leah Herder for creating our show's theme and interview transition music, and our boy Vince Shortino for audio mixing and editing and making this show what it is. Want to connect with us on social media? Yeah. Oh! You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Dinky Pod.
We're 100,000 strong on Instagram.
What, guys? Hell yeah. More than that now. You guys need to be getting on our YouTube. Also.
Tube it up, bitch.
If you like watching video, you can watch this on video now. Vince is editing video.
Thanks, Vince. I hope you liked all my bread.
If you want to see our faces.
I hope you like.
If you want to see our
gold, Kerrygold.
Is that cheaper in Ireland?
No.
Oh,
no. This was like
it
€5.5 euros for this tub, which is probably at least $7.
I wonder what that is in America, though. I should find out.
I think it's probably around the same, if not cheaper in America.
It should be cheaper there. It's Irish.
I know. You know what? Dublin is so fucking expensive. I am shocked by how expensive this place is. London was cheaper than Dublin. I'm confused. I don't get it. I don't know why, but that's the way it is.
Well, guys, head to our YouTube to see our faces, to watch our Regretful Parents series, and so much more. Just 2 dudes. A fun, chaotic something or other.
We got to do a Just 2 Dudes about the Taylor Swift album.
We do.
Hell yeah.
I know.
Hell yeah, brother.
I've been thinking about saying something, but then also been like,
what?
We have so much going on. If you have a question or a comment, email us at dinky@dinkypod.com. If you're a fan of the show, what should they do?
Call Erika.
Subscribe.
Text her.
What? Please don't. Leave a review and share the podcast with friends. Visit the show notes, you guys. God, these outros are fucking long.
They are so long.
I listen to so many podcasts and I don't feel like they're this long, even though they mention everything we mention.
Well, is it because we have ADHD or is it because like we actually have too many fucking bullet points?
I think it's because we have ADHD. And guys, take a trip with us.
I like how you have to take a huge breath. You're like, I have one more. I have like a monologue I need to say right now. I'm running out of breath.
It's only 11:30. I'm so tired. It's halfway through the day. It's not even noon.
No, it's too early for you. Were you going to say other things? I cut you off.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to say?
I thought you were
take
saying
over
shit.
now.
Like, take a trip with us, DM us.
I'm done.
Okay, love ya.
Love ya. Bye.
Fuck you.
Dink life.